All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the call. We're really excited about this tweak that we've done with our compensation structure. A lot of people have been waiting for some of the specifics. We kind of gave a sneak preview of it last Tuesday. We're going to kind of go over it a little bit more today. But this is the iHub affiliate program. And so basically the dynamic here is that we are introducing what we call our free deployed host program that we've been talking about for several weeks. It's been kind of an evolution, and a whole reason we're able to deploy this is directly related to the Helium Track software by giving us the intelligence to be able to make the determinations of the locations. So as you start sharing this with individuals, you're going to be getting first off, starting off with a 10% referral commission, people that you reach out to and say, hey, you got to check this out, and let's get your address, check that out. And they would be getting a free deployment unit based on their scoring that they get on that. But you start off with that 10% referral commission in the first 90 days that host has that unit. The host is starting off at 15%. A 10% increase over the existing hosting program that we've been doing that first 90 days. And then it can go to 25%, and your referrer also bounces 10% to go to 20% based on running 5 virtual mining assessments. We'll cover that a little bit more. And then additionally, in the plan, we've got another 20% into our codes and our matching bonus. So if you just kind of look at these numbers here, you recognize that with 25% hosting commission, 25% referral, 20% referral commission, that's 45%, and the 20% in the code and bonuses and matching, that we are paying out to the field 65% of what's being generated here, which is a really high number, comparably speaking, for a lot of programs that are out there. I know, Chuck, we've not seen anything like it in the period of time we've been around. So let's just kind of talk a little bit about this free deployment program. Now, one of the things that we're going to touch on here is the idea of how the teams get built in iHub. And I'm going to kind of go into a little bit more in this particular presentation. I'm going to be covering it towards the end. But it happens when people become an active affiliate, which means that there is a iHub miner either with that individual or somebody on their team, because we have people in various places around the world that don't have the option of getting their units yet, and they can still fully participate in our iHub affiliate program. But that little light there, green, indicates an active affiliate. And so basically, specifically on the host commission, starts off 15% over 90 days. The affiliate is hosting it on their property, either their home or their place of business, their address. That's the address that we're going through in Helium Track and determining the quality of that location, getting that out there. And there's a whole lot of training and development we're going to be doing on this portion of it, as Eric says, on helping people learn how they can increase the scoring that those locations have by several factors as we start adding that into the system. So during the first 90 days, we recommend doing 5 of those virtual mining assessments, and just the act of doing that takes them from 15 to 25%, but they're not having to figure that out on their own because their referrer is really driving them. The referrer is the one that, after all, said, hey, George or Sally, you've got a really great location, sending them an assessment to lock in that location. So the referrer is really out there doing the work in determining the locations of people, building the affiliate network. And so we're going to be reinforcing that activity by having them assist their hosts do those 5 virtual assessments. Now, just for clarification, it doesn't mean that they have to have 5 assessments that score high and people reserve the miners. What our goal here is for getting engagement going, so that the people that are our hosts in iHub are also cognizant of being an affiliate host, meaning that they've got the opportunity of doing precisely what they experienced with the person that shared iHub with them, should they choose to do so. But we're kind of getting them aware of the process by getting them involved in these 5 assessments, and the referrer is going to assist in the process. Why? Because it bumps up their referral on that unit that their host has by essentially doubling what they're going to be getting on that. And so what happens in our affiliate host program, which is different than what we've been doing previously with our hosted program, where the host didn't actually occupy a spot on the 4 teams that we talk about in iHub until they actually acquired the unit. In the case of our deployed host model, as soon as they've got their unit, as soon as that happens, and there's a unit assigned to them, they immediately become an active affiliate in your teams. And this is going to greatly accelerate the process of moving through those teams. And I'll explain that just a little bit. But again, all this ability is based on Helium Track, this incredible piece of software that we're so wild about. And Eric and the team have put together. And really, my opinion is we haven't really seen anything yet, unleashing this as this product gets even more and more intelligent and more effective of it integrating with our iHub model. So let's just talk about how this change, this extra 10% change, is really affecting what we look at on our teams. We talk about the 4 teams that we have in iHub. We're really building 4 discrete teams of individuals, very different than anything I've ever worked with in the past. Typically, you work with 1 team, and there's various different hoops and qualifications and rank advancement and stuff like that. But we really have 4 individual teams in iHub, and those 4 individual teams actually are treated independently of each other relative to what the commission structure is on that. So this first team we call the pro team. It's your first 5 individuals. The next team is your bronze team with the next 10 individuals that you introduce. The silver team, the next 10. And then anything after that initial 25 people that you've introduced is your gold team, which is unlimited in the number of people that can be part of that team. And again, we'll touch on that a little bit, but here's the big deal. If you recall from our earlier model, which still is maintained on the owner units that are out there for the first kind of the portion of our rollout of iHub, people were buying their own units, and they would get a portion of that. And we have a program that's specifically designed on that, and that does not change. So we're going to be, as moving forward, really running 2 compensation structures that are dependent on the units, whether or not it's a pre-deployed unit or whether or not it's a unit that kind of came about prior to the free deployment strategy, but they're fairly similar in the coded bonuses. The big difference is that on the deployed version, the ability of getting that extra 10% referral commission kicking in on that deployed host after they complete their first 90 days. That's a massive increase of income over time, as we'll talk about. But so in the earlier stages, we basically just talked about 10% here, 10% in this case, so that the bronze team, there's something called a 5% bronze code that you get in addition to that 10% refer that would allow you to get up to 15% on your bronze personals. Now it's going up to 25%. Before, it wasn't until you were building your gold team that you had the ability of getting 25% on your personals. So that is moving that up much more quickly in the process of building your iHub team. At the silver team, you're picking up a 10% code, essentially taking it to a 30% on your personals, and on the gold, a 15% code, taking it up to 35% on your personals. But let's go ahead and look at some specifics here. So we're going to use an example of essentially reaching out to 35 people. And we're going to use that example based on an average earning on a particular miner generating 100 helium tokens in a monthly basis. We're using that because it's a nice round number. Okay, it's also pretty much what the averages are course, averages are kind of like the medium. There's some that are very low. There's some that are a lot higher. But in any case, let's just talk about 100 tokens on a monthly basis. So the first 5 individuals that you bring into iHub that have a unit become your pro team, your first team. We call it just team number 1 or the pro team. And you're going to be getting 20% of what those units are generating. So 20% of that 100 that's being generated, again, it's really 10% for the first 90 days and 20% thereafter. But let's just kind of look at it as 20%. On that second team now of your 10 people that comprise the beginning of your bronze team, then you're going to get that 20% plus that additional 5% bronze code. The silver team is going to be 2 additional 5% codes that's part of your silver team to bring it to 30%. And on gold, there's really 15% or 5 of those 5 or 3 of those 5% codes. And we're going to use in this example, there's an unlimited number of people that you can have on your gold team, whereas there is a finite number of 5, 10, and 10 on the first 3 teams. We're going to assume that you got 10 on your gold team just to keep the example consistent. So you got 5 people. On your pro team at 20%, 5 times 100 helium tokens is 500 at 20% is 100 helium tokens a month off of those 5 people. On that bronze team, you got 10 people at 100, 25% of that is 250. On the silver team, 30% of that 1,000 is 300. And again, just using the assumption of 10 to make this example just consistent, 35 people total, that would generate 350 helium tokens on a monthly basis. Now, again, let's just put this into perspective because this is so crazy. You are able to register as an iHub affiliate with iHub for no cost, totally free to register. The people that are getting these units that are being deployed to them for no cost. There's an assessment that we do. We send it out to the people that have the right scoring, but there's no cost involved. And so here, for reaching out to 35 people and exposing them to iHub, finding 35 people that have units that are going to be generating helium tokens, you are going to be getting an amazing 1,000 helium tokens per month just for the process of doing that where there was nothing out of pocket. Yes, the people that get the units, they're going to be responsible for $1 or less a month in electricity to keep it going, but it's essentially a free proposition. So that 1,000 helium tokens over a 12-month period would be 12,000 tokens. Now, helium right now is about $11. So we're talking about $11,000 of value on a monthly basis for just introducing this to 35 people. But guess what? You can introduce it to as many as you want. You're not stuck with 35 being the top line that's there. There's people that have been sharing this with hundreds of people, and you can imagine the numbers that happen as a result of that. And also that value of helium at $11, that is projected to significantly increase as we move forward. So these numbers can be way more than we're talking about. In addition to that, those 5% codes that we were talking about at the bronze, silver, and gold, they're able to also be paid to you, coded to you, to a significant portion of the people that are exposed to iHub as a result of those 35 people that you personally reached out to a significant portion of what evolves as a result of that. And the numbers get to be astronomical, truly the most extraordinary thing I've seen in 40 plus years. And I'm sure Chuck and everybody else who's really taken a deep dive to understand this are very enthusiastic to report. So also, of course, one of the things that we're very proud about is our involvement with Viva Kids 501c3 that Rick started a way back to help children. And we're going to be giving a contribution towards that as we move forward. I think we already are. So very, very exciting from that point of view. But with that, Chuck, I am going to turn it.
Hey, Michael, why don't you do me a favor? Go back 2 slides